Good morning and welcome, everyone. While we're taking our seats, I'm going to play our 8 Principles video.
The Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola, the 8 Principles.
Number 1, the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
Number 2, justice, equity, and compassion in human relation.
Number 3, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregation.
Number 4, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning.
Number 5, the right of conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregation and in society at large.
Number 6, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all.
Number 7, respect for the interdependent web of existence,
of which we are all a part.
Number 8, active commitment to dismantle racism and other oppression in ourselves and our institutions.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. Welcome! Hi! Sorry, I'm worried about some lighting. Is it okay? Okay, thank you. First and foremost, turn to your neighbor and say, I've got pride. Yes, I do. I've got pride. How about you? It's Pride Month! Yay! Okay, I heard a lot of pride. Yay. It's June, right? It's a happy month. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm Mary Beth. I'll be your service leader today. My pronouns are she and her. If you're a visitor with us, welcome so much. We are so glad to have you. I always like to tell people, if this is your first time and you've been looking for a church community, a family, a home, this is it. You found us. We are loving, we are accepting, we're super fun, obviously. We're nice, and we just are happy to have you. So, welcome. You found us. Congratulations. If you've returned, thank you so much for coming back. That means that all that I've just said is correct, and we are all those awesome things. So, yay. If you are new, hopefully you got a pamphlet telling a little bit about us, but if not, no worries. You can go online, Pensacola.org. That has everything you need to know about our church, about the UU organization, fun and fellowship events, choir events, all kinds of things. So check that out. It has everything you need to know. And I'll go ahead and remind everyone to silence their cell phones. We don't want any interruptions because it's distracting and a little annoying, right? So thank you for that. And I think that's pretty much it. We can get into announcements. We are a lay-led community, so just so you know, if you are new, we have a different speaker almost every week. We have some that return and come back monthly, and then we have new ones like we have today, a lovely speaker that's just going to share a bit about her journey and her story, and we're very excited to hear that. So if this is not your cup of tea, or you like different cups of tea, just come every Sunday because we always have a different speaker, which I think is lovely. So, okay, on to some announcements, not too many. So as most of you are probably aware, we always have snacks and goodies and coffee that's served, thanks to the lovely helpers, Michael, Patty, Jack, several others, Penny. And so we appreciate that, because who doesn't love a good snack? And we love a snack while we're socializing with our church family afterwards. So we are very appreciative of them. However, it is really nice to have some help cleaning up. So if you would like to help, It's super quick. It definitely goes by fast when you have multiple hands. So if, it's just picking up some dishes, maybe taking out the trash, nothing crazy. But if you are able to stay a little late after Sundays, not every Sunday, once in a blue moon, we'll take what we can get. But if you are able to stay and help, we would greatly appreciate that. And you can see me or Patty Underwood, which I don't see. I don't know if she's here. So you can see me today if you're able to help. And we thank you in advance. And we thank all the people for the goodies every Sunday, right? Thank you for feeding us before we go eat lunch. Okay. What else do we have? There is a member, if you guys don't know, we have a church app, Simply Church app, something like that. Yep, Simple Church. Don't see me for the details for this, but it's something like that. It's a directory. It also has our calendar, everything that's going on. But we're wanting to rejuvenate our cluster groups, which is basically our area, our neighborhood. And we like having those for emergencies, if there's something going on, bad weather or whatever. It's nice to have those cluster groups if somebody needs help or whatever. Also, it would just be nice to maybe have a little block party or something. I don't know. Fun and Fellowship is thinking about doing something fun with that. So, if you have not gone on to the church app, please do so. And if you want to sign up, you can see Lori in the back there or Lauren and Zaldo, and they can help get you signed up. And if you are already on there, just check and make sure that everything is up to date. That would be greatly appreciated. And stay tuned for announcements on cluster groups and things like that. And then today, after service, we have our newcomer orientation. So this is for friends, members, prospective members. If you're interested, possibly, stay and see, a little bit about our church. Lauren will lead that and give some insight on that. So grab a snack first. It's just out there to the right. Grab some snacks, some coffee or water, and then come back into the sanctuary for that. We also have two things going on, the newcomer, and you can do a little bit of both, that's fine. We have the newcomer orientation in here, and then in the library, our speaker today is generously willing to give some more of her time and meet in the library if you have any questions, and that'll make more sense and probably be pretty appealing when you see what she's going to talk about and hear her journey today. But so if you want to stay and have some questions, want to discuss some things, she'll be in the library, which is just out here in the lobby. So again, grab you some snacks, coffee, and then go to the library and or come here, whichever. Okay, one last announcement. Fun and Fellowship. I thought I'd show you guys some pictures of what we've done thus far in case if you're not on Facebook. So here's a couple. We've had an eventful summer thus far. So we did roller derby and dinner last night, and the West Florida team crushed it. Yes. Our very own Audrey Hepburn is here, and I'm glad to see her because she killed it last night, so I thought for sure she'd be recovering today, so you're a real trooper. And then Blue Wahoo's game, we did that late April. And then the next one is from bowling last week. So we've just been having a great time, good turnout. So in case you're wondering, is it lame? Are people showing up? Yep, they sure are. And it is super fun. So you should come. Our next event is the last Sunday in June. Nothing crazy. We're just going to meet at Vallarta for some Mexican food after church. So if you guys are interested, just talk to me. And that's June 29th, Sunday. And we'll probably meet at 11:45. So make sure you tell me before I leave here to get a table so I know how fat the table needs to be. So tell me that. What are we going? No. I mean, it's me. It's me. No. Okay, so Vallarta for lunch, June 29th after service. And we'll have more Fun and Fellowship events to come, so stay tuned for that. Or check our website, the calendar. Okay, I think that's all the announcements. Thank you so much for my rambling. You know, it happens. Nancy, would you mind helping me light the chalice? And this is something we do every Sunday. And this Sunday I've prepared, I found some words, and I'm hoping that you can help me. If you can, read the bold and underlined, and I'll read the italicized. And this is by Brian Keeley. In times of darkness, we stumble toward the tiny flame. In times of repression, we reach for the lamp of truth. In times of joy, we light a candle of celebration. Thank you. And I think it's good to take a minute. I know everybody's had a busy week or not. You know, we just need some time to take some deep breaths, think about things, pray if you want to. So I'm gonna have the musicians play us a little centering music, and let's just take some time to appreciate our surroundings, Pride Month, whatever we need to think about. Let's do it. Just a little bit of some opening words for us. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others cutting into our lives, even when we have done all we can and life is still broken, there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. I needed to hear that. Okay. I'm going to invite the choir up now, and if you are willing and able to stand and sing with us, we're going to sing our opening hymn, and it's How Could Anyone? It's page number 1053, and it's this teal hymnal here, and it should be under your chairs in front or behind you, maybe. 1053.
Let's just get a nice big old house yawn or two, a verbal yawn to get our voices warmed up. So inhale, full breath. Another one of those. Inhale and. And this is like a lullaby. How could anyone?
Remain standing, we'll say our covenant together, which will be up here. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. service where we can really show our love as a community. We have a candle here that we can light for you if you want to share a joy or a sorrow with your church family. It's not recorded, it's not put on YouTube, it's just for us here today. So if you want to share with us and help us rejoice or give you a hug and cry with you, please feel free to line up on either side, share your name, and then just briefly share what you'd like to share with us. And we'll light a first candle as a universal, a blanket candle, if you will. I call it the fat candle because we try to encompass everything that's going on around the world. Lord knows there's not enough candles to light for all the things going on in the world, but this one is a kind of a representative of that. But yeah, if you want to line up on either side here. bless you. Well, should we sing the children out today? Do we have Honor? I think Honor's back there somewhere. If y'all will help me sing the children out. The words are up here. Mike?
Children,
Go now in peace, go now in joy. May the Spirit of God surround you Thank you. Lovely. All right. Well, at this point, I'm going to invite the choir up so that we can go ahead and assemble, but it is our offertory time, and we're going to lead. Mike and Rivka have written a song that we're going to sing for you guys, and I think it's very appropriate to kick off Pride Month. The words will be up here, and Mike will lead us. As we're doing that, I'm going to have our ushers come and pass around a basket. So for those of you who aren't aware, we are solely member funded, which means we rely heavily on our community. So if you're able to give anything, we'd greatly appreciate it. You can give here, you can send a check, you can text, or you can do like most of our people and sign up for online drafts. So anyway, we'll pass around that, and then we'll have Mike lead us in a song here. Blessed to have such talented musicians. I love it. And thank you for joining us. Well, it's my privilege today to introduce our speaker. They will provide some valuable insights into her journey as an the LGBTQ community. She's a mother, and she'll also provide some insight into her experience as a dedicated plastic and reconstructive surgeon in Pensacola. So please help me welcome Dr. Jocelyn Leveque.
I do want to say that I think this is the most beautiful church ceremony I've been to. And I really love those first 8 tenets that you presented on the screen. Very meaningful. And I might get very emotional during this talk. But thank you for welcoming me here today, especially on this first day of Pride Month. As she introduced me, I am Dr. Jocelyn Leveque. I am a board-certified plastic and reconstructive surgeon here in Pensacola, and I have lived here and practiced in this community for over 25 years. I have 2 children, a 26-year-old son and a 23-year-old daughter, and I do consider being a mother as my most important job in life. And it's truly a gift to be in a church where love and inclusion are not just ideals, but realities. As a mother, a Christian, and a plastic surgeon who works with transgender patients, I'm honored to share with you this part of my journey, a personal and professional journey shaped by listening, learning, and love that continues to deepen. Today, I want to share a story that's very close to my heart. The day my son came out to me as a gay man. And I also want to share how my work as a plastic surgeon, especially doing transgender surgeries, specifically top surgery, has opened my eyes and deepened my understanding of love and compassion. I still remember the exact moment my son called during his senior year in college at UCLA. It was several years ago during the height of COVID in 2020. I was sitting on the couch relaxing on a Saturday afternoon. I could tell by his voice that this wasn't just going to be a casual conversation. I could also tell that he had imbibed in a bit of liquid courage prior to calling me. After a pause, he said, "Mom, I need to tell you something. I'm gay." That moment is etched in my memory, not because it changed how I saw him, but because it deepened the bond of honesty and trust between us. I could tell how concerned he was to tell me, afraid I would see him in a different light. And the truth is, I wasn't entirely surprised by this declaration. In the years leading up to the call, we had talked a few times about friendships he'd had with other young men, relationships that when they ended left him unusually devastated. I remember the heartbreak in his voice, how unsettled he felt, and how long it took him to recover. At the time, I sensed there was something deeper behind that pain, and as a mother, you often understand things long before they are spoken. So when he told me, it felt less like a shock and more like a revelation, something I had been waiting for him to name. In that moment, I wasn't the confident surgeon or the busy professional. I was just his mom. And my heart was beating fast, not out of fear, but out of wanting to say the right thing. The first words out of my mouth were, "Thank you for trusting me enough to tell me, and nothing will change the way I feel about you. I love you. I have always loved you, and that will never change." I don't know if those were perfect words in that moment, but I did know that what he needed most was love, uncomplicated, unconditional love. And I remembered the words from 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. And also 1 Corinthians 13:7. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Those verses became more than a memory. It became a guide. My son didn't need answers. He needed to know there was no fear between us, only love. A love that listens first, speaks second, and stays always. As a mom, my love for my son doesn't come with conditions or limits. It is a love that endures. And I realized in that moment that my role wasn't to fix or change anything. It was simply to walk alongside him. While this revelation never changed how I felt about him, it did create fears for me as a mother. Would he experience more difficulty in life because of the significant proportion of the population that doesn't validate multiple versions of sexuality and gender identification? Would he face more discrimination, rejection, harassment, or violence because of this? And would he find love and happiness? But after all, What could ever be wrong about loving someone, no matter their gender? 2 of my best friend's sons are gay, and being able to have support from them and important conversations with them has helped me be able to navigate my relationship with my son and learn how to earn his full trust, to know that he can be himself with me and know he's truly loved as always. And because of my own personal experience now, I have definitely become a mama bear in the past few years in regards to the defense of the LGBTQA+ rights whenever the opportunity has presented itself. In the time that followed my son's revelation, our relationship only grew stronger. I'll admit I stumbled along the way. I didn't always know the correct terminology to use early on and discovered this sometimes offended him. But I always made him talk it out with me and asked him to educate me on these topics, since I came from a generation that didn't have these discussions. And at first I realized there was definitely topics not open to discussion, but eventually did become safe conversations between us as time passed, and complete trust in my acceptance of all of him became apparent. He opened up more. We talked about his experiences, his joys, his fears. I witnessed his growing confidence and his ability to express his magnetic personality that previously lay dormant with inhibition. He no longer felt the need to hide his true self. We shared more common interests like travel, fashion, good food and wine, good books and movies. And I began to understand more deeply what it meant to love someone, not just as your child, but as a whole person, someone becoming more fully themselves. And here's what I learned. I didn't lose a version of my son. I gained more of who he truly is. He taught me that coming out isn't about asking for permission. It's about seeking safety. And I was grateful to be that safe place for him. I still am. He just recently graduated from medical school, and he is moving to Boston to do a residency in psychiatry. We are actually driving there together next week to move him into his new apartment. His goal is to use his knowledge and education and skills to help others who are in the position he once was and who are struggling with their identity. He has had a long-distance boyfriend from London for the past 3 years who is moving to Boston to create a life with him. And I'm so happy to see him content and flourishing in life, and I couldn't be prouder of him. Professionally, I'm a plastic surgeon, and over time, my work has come to include gender-affirming surgeries for patients with gender dysphoria, many of them transgender. These are extraordinary people who are seeking to bring their outer selves into alignment with their inner identity. I am also very encouraged by the support system that commonly accompanies them to their appointments, usually significant others, friends, and sometimes mothers. The most common procedure I perform for transgender patients is top surgery, which is the act of either feminizing or masculinizing the chest. For female patients who are transitioning to male, I perform a total mastectomy with a free nipple graft placed in the lower, more lateral position on the chest with a smaller nipple-areolar complex. I have done many of these surgeries over the past few years and have patients travel from all over the Southeast to my facility. Early on, when I was performing these, I would have a circulating nurse in the operating room pull up a picture of a shirtless Chris Hemsworth to review what, in my opinion, is the perfect nipple placement on a male chest. I definitely don't need that anymore because I've done plenty of them, but I do kind of miss those pictures of Chris Hemsworth. In those transitioning from male to female, I am performing a breast augmentation with implants. Statistically, females transitioning to males are younger. They're usually in their 20s and 30s, and are more common in my practice than their male counterparts, who tend to be more in their 50s. Several studies show this is due to the significantly increased pressure that society places on men to be macho and manly, and it takes them longer to be able to move past that expectation and come out in society as their true selves. Early in my career, I approached these procedures as technical and medical, which they are, but the more I listened to my patients, their stories of isolation, resilience, rejection, and hope, the more I realized this work is sacred. It's not just about reshaping a body. It's about healing the connection between body and soul. When my son came out to me, it struck me that in a way, I had been preparing for this moment for years without realizing it. Through my patients, I had been learning how important it is to listen without judgments, to offer care with compassion, and to honor each person's journey. One verse that has guided me both in my work and as a mother is Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Justice, mercy, humility. These are not just lofty words, they are daily practices. In my surgical practice, in my parenting, in my faith, I am called to show up with humility, to offer mercy, and to act justly toward every person I encounter. Let me tell you about one patient. We will call her Elena, who is transitioning to Eli. Eli came to me in his early 30s to discuss top surgery. I remember his first visit clearly. He was soft-spoken, thoughtful, a little guarded. When it came time for his exam, I asked if he was ready. He nodded, but I noticed he couldn't bring himself to look at his own body. He said, I have to look up at the ceiling. I can't look down at my chest. That stayed with me. It wasn't embarrassment, it was pain. A disconnection so deep that even seeing himself was unbearable. We moved forward carefully. He was committed and incredibly brave. And after his surgery, when he came back for a follow-up, something had clearly changed. He stood in front of the mirror, quiet, still, and then the tears came. But they weren't tears of shame. They were tears of recognition. He looked at his reflection and said, I feel like my soul finally has a home. That moment will stay with me for the rest of my life. Because gender-affirming surgery is not about changing someone. It's about helping them become who they already know themselves to be. It's about letting their body tell the truth they've always carried inside. And when I witness that kind of healing, I think of Psalm 139:14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That verse belongs to Eli. It belongs to my son, and it belongs to every person who's ever questioned whether they are seen, loved, or worthy just as they are. In many faith spaces, these conversations are still difficult. Some of you today may wrestle with questions about faith, sexuality, and gender. I want to acknowledge that. These are not always easy topics, but I believe at the core, our faith calls us to love first. When I look at Jesus, I see someone who constantly broke down barriers. He moved toward the people the world pushed away. He didn't demand perfection before he offered love. He led with love. If our faith makes people feel unseen, unsafe, or unloved, then we may need to ask, who are we really following? Jesus said, come to me, all of you, not just some of you, not only the easy ones, all of you. That includes gay sons, trans daughters, and anyone still finding the courage to live openly in the truth of who they are. My son's coming out didn't challenge my faith, it deepened it. It pushed me toward a more courageous love, a more listening heart, a more open spirit. And through my work, I've come to see healing in its fullest sense. Not just the healing of bodies, but the healing of identities, the restoration of dignity, the affirmation of worth. If someone you love comes to you with their truth, remember, you don't have to have the perfect words. You don't have to understand everything right away. Start with love. We are all on a journey of learning, of growing, of becoming more like Christ. And if we root ourselves in love, in compassion, and in humility, we will find that God's grace meets us there. So thank you for being a church that lives out that gospel. Thank you for welcoming families like mine, for seeing people like Eli, and for choosing to love without fear. May this community continue to be a place where everyone, no matter their gender, orientation, or story, is known, celebrated, and seen as fearfully and wonderfully made. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Will you stand and sing with us, if you're willing and able? We're going to sing Love Will Guide Us. It's in the old hymnal, number 131. We'll sing this together and have some closing words, and then we can grab some goodies and come back here for orientation or in the library for a talk with Dr. Jocelyn.
Let's have a quick warm-up for this one, too.
Okay.
So, let's just do ha. So use your belly and go ha, 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 ha. And now maybe we can do a long one or two. So ha, 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 ha. Sweet. Ha, 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 ha. And then we'll start laughing with it. Ha, 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 So this is like a blues song. So like feel free to kind of holler if we're only doing it for 3 minutes. So be courageous. Please, and playful. And I'm gonna be great, playful too.
Quick words, and then let's sing it again on on our way out to get goodies. I feel like, the Spirit's calling. Quick words. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? And if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? Happy Pride Month. Sing us out again, Mike.
1, 2, 3.